Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn, and here's the headlines. President Tô receives outgoing ambassadors of Colombia, Panama. Ministry of National Defense leader inspects search and collection of MIA servicemen in Vietnam. Vietnam boasts great opportunity to develop semiconductor industry. On June the 28th, President Tô received outgoing ambassadors of Colombia and Panama, who came to bid farewell before ending their terms of office in Vietnam. Receiving Colombian ambassador, President Lam congratulated the diplomat on his successful term in Vietnam and appreciated his positive contributions to strengthening and developing the cooperative and friendship relations between Vietnam and Colombia. He also emphasized that Vietnam strongly supports the peace process in Colombia and wants to develop comprehensive cooperation in all areas, including politics, diplomacy, economy, trade, education, and people-to-people exchange for the benefit of the two countries' people, contributing to peace, stability, and development in the two regions. For his part, Mr. Ambassador affirmed that during his 5-year term, he had witnessed Vietnam's development achievements with an increasingly enhanced role and position in the region and in the international arena. He thanked Vietnam for always strongly supporting the peace negotiation process in Colombia, especially during the period when Vietnam assumed the role of rotating president of the UN Security Council, as well as its support and cooperation with Colombia, not only in political and diplomatic relations, but in many other fields and people-to-people exchanges. Receiving Panamanian ambassador, President Lam praised his contributions to strengthening and developing the traditional friendship and cooperation between the two countries. He affirmed that Vietnam highly evaluates Panama's important role and position in Latin America, and Vietnam wants to further develop multifaceted cooperation with Panama in areas such as politics, diplomacy, economy, trade, finance, banking, and people-to-people exchanges. For his part, the Panamanian ambassador thanked the sentiment of the Vietnamese people and President Lam for the Panamanian people, thanking Vietnam for supporting Panama to become a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council. The diplomat affirmed that in any position, he will continue to contribute to promoting friendship and cooperative relations between Panama and Vietnam. On June the 28th, Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, chairman of the General Political Department, inspected the construction progress of Vietnam Military History Museum. Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết lauded the effort and coordination of investors, contractors, relevant agencies and units in the construction of the Vietnam Military History Museum over the past time. He required the construction progress to be accelerated and soon be put into use while strictly ensuring compliance with the regulations of the state and the Ministry of National Defense on the management of construction investments. The relevant agencies of the Ministry of National Defense continue to support investors and Project Management Board on legal procedures complying with regulations and laws. Difficulties and proposals of investors must be reported to promptly complete the project before the 80th anniversary of the Foundation Day of the Vietnam People's Army, 35th anniversary of the Ho People's Defense Festive Day, and 80th anniversary of the Founding Day of the General Political Department. On June the 28th, Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Defense Minister, head of the Steering Committee 701, inspected the search and collection of MIA servicemen at sea in Ninh Vân Commune, Ninh Hòa Town, Khánh Hòa Province. The event also saw the attendance of representatives of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Charge d'Affaires of the U.S. Embassy in Vietnam. At the event, General Chiến highly appreciated the efforts of local functional forces on the U.S. side in overcoming many difficulties to ensure the search and collection at sea took place safely and achieved positive results. General Chien requested the U.S. side to continue actively supporting projects, especially speeding up the treatment of dioxin contamination at Bien Hoa and Phu Cat airports, supporting people with disabilities and Agent Orange victims in localities affected by dioxin, and as well as clearing unexploded ordnance. On behalf of the U.S. Embassy in Vietnam and the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency, Charge d'Affaires Line Gatkowski expressed her honor and gratitude to the leaders of the Vietnamese Ministry of National Defense and the agencies who directly inspected the scene and shared the difficulties and hardships facing both teams in carrying out the mission. In education settings, learning through play has been recognized as an effective way to engage students in the learning process actively. In recent times, the Vietnam Ministry of Education and Training, along with domestic and foreign partners, has innovated and successfully integrated the experiential learning model, learning through play at different educational levels in the country. In particular, the preschool age is the age when awareness sparks. Children can learn anywhere, anytime, both at home and school. With many fun activities, kindergartens have provided children with different experiences so that they can learn about themselves and the natural world in a gentle way. Kindergarten 59, under the Logistics Department of the General Staff, is tasked with taking care of preschool-age children of officers, soldiers and laborers working at affiliated units of the General Staff and the Ministry of National Defense. At this kindergarten, teachers always try to explore and create good lessons and creative activities to devote themselves to the cause of cultivating people and contributing to building a happy kindergarten. Teachers here are regularly trained to improve their professional expertise, especially the training course held by the Army Women Advisory Board. Thanks to that, kindergarten teachers are updated with new information and programs, helping them come up with creative and exciting lessons for children. In addition to teaching fundamental knowledge, we also organize various experimental activities such as cooking and working, as well as teaching children about every natural and social phenomenon whenever there is one to stimulate children's curiosity and love of discovery, thereby developing critical thinking, creativity, logical thinking, and problem-solving thinking. I always hope that every day is a happy day at school for all of the children. The Army Women Advisory Board under the General Political Department has organized a meaningful contest for preschool teachers to meet and exchange and learn from each other. I hope it will be organized every year so that we can come up with more creative lessons for children and create excitement for them in learning. The effort, dedication, patience and love for the job of teachers of Kindergarten 59 have been rewarded with the noble title Meritorious Teacher in the Military or High Prizes at the Outstanding Teachers Contest at preschool level in the whole military. However, what is important to them is the affection and absolute trust of parents, school administrators, friends and colleagues, and their loving kindergarten students. The teachers here also pay attention to children's need to create playing space, allowing them to play to their heart's content. There's a STEAM class where children are actively and creatively learning through play. I can see my child enjoying going to class, and that makes me happy. I can focus on my work with peace of mind and no longer have to worry about a thing when my child studies here. Regarding the kindergarten's professional work, we strictly implement the instruction of the Army Women Advisory Board and the annual school plan of the city's Department of Education and Training. Following the instruction of higher authorities, we have the school themes of building a happy child-centered kindergarten and the criterion of parents feeling secure and at ease when sending their children to school. Teachers can keep their minds on their work and children feel happy at school. The best way to get children to behave is to make them happy, and that happiness sometimes simply means letting them have fun, be creative, and experience new things. Children are the future of a country, and those sprouts must be nurtured from today from the tireless efforts of a team of preschool teachers, children's first teachers. Therefore, loving and teaching children to play, learn, and develop is the goal of all teachers at military preschool educational facilities. Coming up next, Vietnam boasts great opportunity to develop semiconductor industry. Uki sticky rice soil source essence of northernmost Vietnam. Minister of Planning and Investment Nguyễn Chí Dũng had a working session with a number of entrepreneurs and technology enterprises before ending his business trip in the U.S. to promote linkages and expand cooperation with Vietnamese experts, intellectuals, and tech giants in the U.S. The delegation of the Ministry of Planning and Investment met with leading non-engineer semiconductor experts in the U.S. agencies. Those have supported companies and governments in establishing and managing technology parks around the world. The U.S. experts valued that Vietnam boasts a great opportunity to develop semiconductor and AI industries as it has abundant and well-trained young workforce. The U.S. side has agreed to support Vietnam in building roadmaps for developing the semiconductor industry in Vietnam. To prevent the increase in counterfeit goods and intellectual property infringements from hurting local market, General Department of Vietnam Customs has developed and completed the expansion of inspection and supervision procedures for exported and imported goods requiring intellectual property rights protection on the e-public service portal.
Hữu nghị Bordergate in Lạng Sơn is one of the international ones applied the most modern online service reform nationwide. Therefore, enterprises can carry out customs clearance via the national single window system and must carefully declare the origins, types, and quantity of goods. The number of vehicles carrying goods going through Hữu nghị Bordergate is huge. To carry out anti-commercial fraud, we have strengthened inspection, patrol, control, and information collection, while increasing the use of machinery and equipment to facilitate the control. Since the beginning of the year, Lạng Sơn Customs Department has detected over 700 violations, with an estimated value of nearly $710,000, up 56.6% in the number of cases compared to the same period last year. Recently, the General Department of Customs submitted Circular number 33 to the Ministry of Finance on the origins of import and export goods. This circular replaces 4 previous ones on research, implementation, and ensuring transparency. Documents of goods origins are sent via the single window systems. Agreements and international commitments that Vietnam participated in or signed in intellectual property are expanding with high levels of commitment, requiring enforcement agencies to have new management adapting to the development of science and technology.
Thái Nguyên is not only famous for its green tea and many scenic spots and historical sites, but also a place with an extremely unique culinary culture with a wide range of specialties bearing the local essence, including Uki sticky rice soil sauce. More to follow.
Uki is a purely agricultural land along the Go River. For generations, local people have made a unique sticky rice soy sauce that is hard to find anywhere else. Uki people make soy sauce all year round, but the busiest time is autumn due to the mild weather. I'm the fourth generation to do this traditional crop in my family. I'm also passionate about making soy sauce and want to pass on the profession to my daughter-in-law so that in the future she can expand the market. To make delicious jars of soy sauce, sticky rice carefully selected, which are rice grains that have been dried in the sun, are not broken or crushed, and have the aroma of new rice to be processed into sauce. Molding is very elaborate. First, the rice is spread out and only fermented on the second day, stirred 2 or 3 times a day until the 4th day to get the green mold to put in the sauce. Through the ups and downs of history, the traditional crop village of Uki's sticky white soy sauce is still preserved and is increasingly prosperous. The expansion and improvement of product quality over the years has not only contributed to local economic development, but also created conditions for traditional cultural values to be preserved, inherited, and promoted in today's life.
This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.